What's going on, y'all? In this month's guitar tutorial, we're going to be looking at the one and only Boss Blues Driver again. But why? Because I have an Analog Man modded Blues Driver now. So stock Blues Driver, Analog Man Blues Driver. We're going to be shooting them out. I'm really excited. Big thanks to Mike from Analog Man. I got a Beano boost to use on our new album, which hopefully is coming out end of summer, early fall. Just a heads up, new ATW album. It's really, really cool. Some of my favorite stuff. Long story short, I bought a Beano boost to use because I was going to use old Marshalls on the album. And I was like, I need a sick treble booster to get kind of those, early Black Sabbath tones and things like that. I loved it so much, I emailed Mike and I was like, dude, this is like the greatest pedal ever. I use it on everything. And he was like, I'm so glad you loved it. I see that you are a big Blues Driver user. Send us in your Blues Driver and I'll mod it for you for free. And I was like, absolutely. I definitely want to do that. I'm not going to pass up that kind of offer. He sent this back about 3 weeks later, and I'm just now really getting to dig into it. And I have a stock one as well that I didn't get modded. I was just thinking, I love this pedal so much, let's shoot them out, I don't know if there's many good comparisons on the mod versus the stock and whether it's worth it to upgrade. So we're gonna hear it. Let's check it out. All right, so I'm plugged into my reissue Princeton Reverb. It is modded. It has a 12-inch Warehouse Blackhawk Alnico. It's my favorite 12-inch speaker ever. Sounds incredible in twin reverbs, which is what I have in my twin, and I love it in the Princeton. For this video, we're going to use a Princeton. So here is the clean sound. All right, let's start just with the stock Blues Driver. So these are the settings that I normally go with live. Now let's clean it up just by rolling back the volume knob. All right, so yeah, that's the stock Blues Driver. Let's move over to the Analog Man modded Blues Driver. And we're going to do the rolling off the guitar volume knob to clean it up. Let's go back to the stock. So the stock one seems to be a little louder, so I'm going to turn up the Analog Man. All right, what I'm hearing so far is the Analog Man Blues Driver definitely seems to have a blanket lifted off of it. The highs are way more clear. The mid-range, it seems to be a little bit more scooped, but not in a way where the EQ curve is actually scooping the mids. It just seems to retain a lot of the good bass frequencies that the stock one normally cuts. Let me tune down to a drop C thing, and we'll crank the gain and check out the bass response in both pedals. Now, I'm also hearing, when I'm cranking the gain, the Analog Man modded Blues Driver definitely seems tighter, even though I think it actually has more gain on tap, which is pretty sweet. It's super tight. Now, in a live setting, I don't know if there's going to be, like, you know, if I'm going to be wanting the more mid-rangey sound of the stock one. That's kind of why I love the stock Blues Driver. But I'm loving this Analog Man one. Let's kind of scale things back. I will dial in kind of a lower gain sound just to see if there's, you know, audible differences between the two. The stock Blues Driver is excellent. It has a mid-range that cuts through the mix. Live, this is one of my favorite pedals. This is my favorite pedal to use live. It does everything I need it to. This is really, really awesome. It has so much more high-end clarity, it has so much more low end that just chugs. It has even way more gain than I imagined, even more than the stock one. The only thing that I'm concerned about, and again, I have not used the Analog Man modded one with All Them Witches yet, but the only thing that I might miss about the modded one compared to the stock one is the lack of mid-range. Because the thing that makes this pedal so magical is the mid-range boost that it has. It cuts through. You can always hear it. You never need like a booster pedal. Your guitar is always present. The one thing that I'm most excited about hearing this with the band is there's some kind of blanket on this pedal. After hearing this, there's a blanket in the high end that I might miss if I use the stock versus the modded one. It's all just gonna depend, you know, I'm sure I'll know immediately. But honestly, I might just have both on my board. This into this or this into this. You know, the more mid-rangey sound boosting this blues driver. And then I can get away with no fuzz pedals, which would be awesome. Because these two pedals together, you can probably get into fuzz territory. I'm sure they sound incredible. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any modded blues drivers, let me know which ones you use. I know that there's a couple companies that do it. I'm very, very psyched with the Analog Man one, and I'm so thankful that he emailed me back, and now I have the best of both worlds. I can say for recording, I would definitely use the Analog Man one, but for live, it's going to be hard to beat the mid-range punch of the stock. Have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching.